In this video, I want to recreate this logo down here. I'm gonna start with the letter M, which is the hardest to recreate. And once I can recreate that, I can recreate the rest easily. Alright? So I'm gonna be recreating the letter M along with the stroke. Now if I look closely here, I see that I have, first of all, the shading inside the letter. Then I have a thin blue stroke around it. And then I have this thick dark blue stroke around the whole thing. Alright, so that's what I want to create. I will start here. I'll use my pen tool. Click. Of course, I need to be in snap mode, snap to grid. So I click, 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 and go down. Alright, and then I will close this. So that's what I have. It can be a rectangle. I want to curve up the outer points. So I'm gonna go to my convert point tool and click and drag. You see, I went 3 squares, so I have to also go 3 squares from the other side. That way I get my perfect curve. Alright, remember I'm creating the M. I can at any time grab the points and move them down in case I want to change the height. Now I want to create a thicker line and remove the inner part. You see, that is going to be the inside of the M, so I need to create something thicker that will go outside and delete what's inside. For this, I will select the object and go to Object, Path, and Offset Path. And here I get a preview, and I can enter the value with which I want to offset. Let's say 1 centimeter. Alright, so that's going to be the result. I'll press OK. So now I have 2. If I change the color of this one, I see that I have 2. So I'll select the small one and I'll grab the points 1 and 2 and I'll move them down. Alright, so now I'll select these 2 and I'll subtract, and that's what I have. So if I grab this one now, let's place it here. Alt and move. Alright, to create a copy. And of course I need to overlap the 2 together like this. So now I have this. So I'll select both and I'll unify them from here, right, from the pathfinder. So now they are one object, but I don't want to see the rest of the elements, so I'll choose Object and Expand, Appearance, and that's what I have. So now I can grab the points and move them into place. So that's my letter M, which I'll place up here. So now it's one object, right? It doesn't have any problems. I need to fill it with a gradient now to create this effect, right? So let's select it and let's go to Fill Colored Gradient. That's what I have by default for my gradient. Alright, first I need to change the orientation of the gradient 90 degrees. So that's the gradient here. I'll set the angle to 90 degrees. So now it's horizontal. The first color I need it to be blue. The second color, let's remove the second color. Drag it down, drag down. So I'll click and add another color like this one, and I'll just make it darker by reducing the brightness. I can also increase the saturation a little bit. So now I have blue and darker blue. Now if I look at the original, I have blue and darker blue and then lighter blue and then whitish. So let's bring this one here for the lighter blue and add another one there and make it really bright to make it white, and this will make it a bit darker and bring it very close to that one. That way I would have the separation. Alright, let's move them a bit to the right, and that's what I have now. Alright, light blue, darker blue, light blue, and whitish up there. Alright, so if I look also closely, I have a blue stroke around it. So far I don't have a stroke, so I click here, and I need a blue color, so I'll go like this. I'll press OK, and I'll set the size, say to, I think it's 2, so I'll leave it set to 2. Now I need to create this heavy stroke around it. Alright, so I'll select this object, and I'll go to Object, Path, and Offset Path again, Preview, to create another one. Alright, and let's play with the offset. Let's try 0.7, 0.6. Okay, I think 0.65 centimeters should be good. So I'll press OK. So now we have both objects grouped. So I'm going to right click and ungroup so that each one is separate. So this is the one in the back. I don't want to give it any stroke, so I'll set the stroke to none. And for the fill, it needs to be dark blue. So I'll just select a darker blue color and press OK, and that's the M. And from here on, I continue working the same way to create the rest of the logo.